You might not think that a few simple words can make you crave McDonald's breakfast sandwiches. But if you listen closely to the sound of me saying McGriddles, McMuffin, you might be wrong. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, I'm Mike White.
And I'm Rob St. Mary.
And we're the hosts of the Projection Booth podcast.
If you haven't heard of the Projection Booth, that's okay.
But we think it's time that you have.
We've been doing this for over 3 years now.
And we think we're doing a pretty good show.
Every week we look at a different film and put it in context.
We try to bring you interviews with the people behind the films.
Or experts on a subject matter covered in the film.
We don't specialize in any one particular genre or type of film.
We try to examine every aspect of cinema.
From every corner of the globe.
Even at 3 years, we barely just scratched the surface.
But we're ready. We're ready for you to listen to us.
That's right. Now's the time to give us a shot.
Download us through our free smartphone app.
Or through Stitcher, iTunes, Geek Juice Radio, Jackalow.
Or our website.
projection-booth.com.
We'll keep making great shows.
Now it's your turn to listen to them.
We're about to do a topical show after we've all had a couple beers. This is going to be good.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthma Core Studios near Detroit, Michigan, it's Unregimented.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
Number 97.
All right.
Finally, the year I graduated.
Youngin.
I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Rich.
No Jay.
I jumped ahead of you there, didn't I?
Jason.
I was-
No, you always go. You always go.
Oh, whatever. I can't remember. Yeah, Jay's working.
Jay's working
Couldn't
hard.
He's hanging out with Prince in Minneapolis.
Hanging out with
He's
So we're
cleansing
assless-
himself. He's cleansing himself in the waters of Lake
Minnetonka.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Wearing
Jay,
assless chaps. with
Jay
Prince.
and Prince just standing next to each other. I don't even know if Jay would know he was there.
Mutt and Jeff is what they would look like. Seriously.
Oh, we also have a
Like,
guest.
Yes.
Prince
yes.
would be swinging off his belt.
We have Max.
We have yes.
Max.
I'm
so sorry.
That is my little brother, and his legal name is Max. So no Maxwell, no Maximilian, no Maximum Overdrive. It's
Not
just Max.
Although
Max.
considering the
Max.
inspiration
Not short for
the
shit.
name.
Like the opposite of Min. Max.
Yeah.
That would be like your that would be your tagline. Your what do they call it?
I don't know. What do they call
when
it?
a character has like a hook?
Catchphrase?
A catchphrase. Thank you.
Max,
See?
not short for shit.
Right, that would be your catchphrase. Like if they did a movie, you'd be like the action star, and you'd be like, "Max, what's that short for?" Max ain't short for shit.
Only if Samuel L. Jackson plays me.
Right, there you go.
There you go.
Hey,
Max ain't short for shit, motherfucker.
who's like a big Latino star in the action community? Because we might
Go fuck yourself.
He kind of looks Mexican, so we might be able to get him in there.
At least I'm not
Right.
ginger.
Desperado 4, starring Max.
Antonio Banderas as Max.
Max.
Your mom would be like, "It's the first time I've ever wanted to fuck my son."
God. Hey, easy.
Wow. Hey, you want to? Hey, you want to run with the dogs at night? You can't spar with the puppies during the day. All right, let's do this.
There was a gauntlet. Rich has officially thrown it down.
Well,
It's all right. I know where he sleeps.
so what has been going on this last week? It's been kind of a weird week.
Lots of things.
So we talked about B.B. King.
Oh,
and
yeah, I forgot two
then
of his daughters come out.
Yeah, it popped up today that 2 of B.B. King's daughters are claiming that his manager and his assistant, his personal assistant, were basically drugging him. And
Was it drugging, or was it they kind of helped his demise along, like assisted suicide almost?
a little of both, I think. Well,
So
yeah.
kind of like
2 of his
what was his name? The doctor, the
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, kind of like how he was just pretty much slowly killing Michael
but
Jackson.
Michael Jackson was like
So you're saying
asking for it.
So you're saying there was a cocaine dealer
And I
living
don't-
with Michael Jackson?
And I don't mean the child molesting. I mean he was like literally asking for the drugs.
I know.
Jamona, give me a now.
Is
this racist or is it cool 'cause
His
he's
leg
white?
is like doing the flip up thing, just constantly, and it won't stop until he gives him his drugs.
Give me my drugs. If you say no, that's ignorant. No, that's ignorant.
God, okay.
No. So two of BB King's 15 children.
Two of whom had died.
Well, actually 11. There's 11 kids left.
Oh, so 4 had.
Yeah, 4 kids passed before BB King, and which was fine because he couldn't remember their names anyway.
BB was making love to a lot more than just Lucille. That's all there is to it.
Oh, no doubt.
Apparently never stopped to buy a pack of rubbers.
Because in all the news stories that have been on BB King, most of them have referenced his large family, and it's like 15 kids amongst a number of women. Like, we weren't even going to try and do that math.
Yeah, it's
like he went back and hit it twice on some of them, but who knows? Like
that's an NBA.
There could be twins.
That's an NBA amount of kids to mothers ratio.
There could be twins.
That's like, what's it, Antonio Rodgers Cromartie? That's like him.
Remember when Hard Knocks he couldn't remember all the names of his kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was horrible, dude. That was embarrassing.
Dude, and what's funny, too, is if you noticed, most of his kids were conceived the year he'd won the Super Bowl. So it's like he won the Super Bowl and just went on like a fuck spree.
Yeah, it was
that whole year. I won the Super Bowl. Here's my seed. Because you could trace back most of his kids' births to the year he won the Super Bowl, which I found funny.
All right, so out of his 15 kids, 2 of them decide to sue. Now, there is some precedence here because these 2 and another daughter, I guess, earlier this year, were making claims that the manager was kind of secluding him and was giving him medications and locking them away. And I'm like, well, he was like the world's most famous diabetic. You know, that was like, it was like top blues artist, America's #1 diabetic. That was second by
the initial question I have in this whole
number 2 being Wilford Brimley.
Right.
Is what does the manager get out of BB King dying? What does he get out of killing BB King?
10% of the sales of his albums that now go through the roof.
Well, no, but I think you would think the kids would get more out of the deal with their dad dying.
Exactly.
So what does the manager get? That's what the question I'd have to ask the kids. What's his upside?
Okay, hold on a sec, though, guys.
If he drugs and kills BB King,
because I read the coroner's report and it said he actually died of dementia and the dementia was brought on by multiple small strokes. And I've had experience with this because that's what
but the dementia wouldn't kill you. It's the oh shit. I forgot what I read it earlier today, and it was something that was brought about by a series of strokes. But basically, what we're talking about here is depriving the brain of oxygen.
Yes.
At the end of the day, he died because his brain had no oxygen in it. Right?
Yeah, well,
now, that could be caused by medications that were given to him or withheld from him or switched out. Yeah, that is possible. But again, what would be the fucking motivation? Like, you've got this guy who will not quit making money. He just walks around and shits money like a little wind-up toy.
I can't do this. No,
I was going to say, dude, that's raw, bro.
I can't.
Right. Constantly touring, and nice as fuck. Seemed like a good guy to hang around. If you were to spend a whole year with one recording artist, BB King would probably be tops on your list of people that you'd want to do that with.
He like fucking.
Sure.
Doesn't everyone?
But I don't see how that strengthens his point, but yes, it's true.
I like to breathe air too.
He definitely liked fucking. But so what is his motivation? Like,
he's not in the will. He's his fucking manager.
Let's play one of our favorite games, the what if game. Maybe it was just the manager was a good friend to him and saw how fast he was declining and saw that he was going to hang on.
Maybe he was asked by BB King,
and he said, "Hey, you know what? We can." That's what hospice does. They give him. Right. They get it's a wink and a nod from the doctor, but they never tell you. They're not going to say if we give them this medication, it's going to ease them off easier than them sitting there fighting and being in pain.
Right, yeah. When you during the palliative care phase, you're being given drugs that help you along. They're not designed to prolong your life. They're trying to help you pass gracefully.
Yeah, because whenever you hear so and so's entered hospice, I mean, what do you instantly think? Well, right. That's it.
That's it.
But we aren't talking about a hospice situation here, though. I mean, we are.
We are. Because when I heard BB King was in hospice,
I was like, that's it.
Yeah, that's.
He had a stroke in the hospital. His camp released a statement, and then a month later, he's dead.
No, but in the aspect of the accusations is what I'm talking about. Yes, he did. He was in hospice.
So you're saying
The accusations aren't like, oh, you know, he had a stroke and then you gave him a bunch of drugs and killed him. They're saying you fucked with his drugs. They said that the manager was seen, both the manager and the personal assistant were seen giving medications, fluids, and foreign substances and then locking them away. So what they're saying is while they're out on tour with him, they are giving him something. They make no claims as to what, but basically fucking with his medication enough to put him into
a danger
diabetic
zone.
shock,
a zone where he was going to be more susceptible to the strokes.
Right.
Okay. I thought what had happened was he had the series of small strokes, was hospitalized. They sent him home, and after a certain point, hospice was called in. And between the point where he left the hospital and when he was sent home, that he was allegedly given these, strange substances and different drugs. But I mean, let's be honest. Have you guys ever been around someone who's had multiple small strokes and they're bedridden?
Yeah.
Because you know how when someone's mouth stays open, it gets dry? I had to do this with my mom. It was a sponge, literally a sponge on a stick. And that's the only way we could keep her mouth from drying out.
I didn't recognize my grandmother.
Yeah.
Before she passed in the day and a half between the stroke and her actual death. It was freaky. I was like, anyway, we're not going to go down that road.
Well, no, but you know what I'm saying.
You know
what I'm saying. There's going to be new medications introduced, and if a person doesn't know what they're looking at, it could look strange.
Right.
Why is that person doing that to them?
I'm second guessing myself now because I guess I'm not sure if maybe your timeline might be more accurate than I am. I guess a little more research is in order here, but
I'm going by this is.
It seemed like the way that they had a claim earlier in the year of abuse, and now they're making another claim that the medications were messed with, that this was an ongoing issue that they were seeing. Whereas, I mean, if he was in hospice, his manager and personal assistant are not going to be the ones administering any medications.
But
you have a nurse for that.
But if you're in home hospice care,
the
people closest to him, especially if he's had strokes and they're trying to, and it's brought on the mini strokes have brought on some form of dementia. They're going to try to keep the people that are he's most likely to recognize near him, and it's going to give him comfort. I guess that's what I'm getting at. And they're going to when I went and visited my grandmother, they would say, "Would you like to feed her? Would you like to give her her medicine to she recognized you until she didn't recognize me. She recognized me, so she was more apt to take something from me than a complete stranger. That's what I'm getting at. So and if you're his daughters who might not be there every day, and you come now, your father's in hospice, and you come see him, it might look strange.
But I guess the biggest question on both sides of this is what's in it for any of these people. I mean, his estate was worth probably enough that every one of his surviving children is going to be a millionaire.
Yes. I would easily.
Did I say children's?
You did.
Did I say
all the children's blues guy? We're keeping it character.
All God's children's got shoes.
All them children's. Maybe it was honestly someone's well-meaning mistake, though.
And see, but that's the thing. We don't know, because out of 11 children that are remaining, you got 2 that are making this claim. Where are the rest of them?
Not involved in his life.
Want some of that CBD oil.
There's still. I don't know if all 11 have been notified at this point still. Some of them might live out in the woods.
Some may not even care.
They don't get internet.
Maybe.
They're like, what? That guy my mom always listens to died?
God, that's fucked up.
I don't know.
Hey, you see?
Well, come on.
Hey, did you see the Cosby rerun? You mean the guy who rapes people? Yeah. You see the guy next to him sitting down playing guitar? Yeah, that's your dad. Well, at least he ain't the guy that raped everyone.
Right. Well, even if you had 15 kids and they all lived under one roof and you saw them every day, you still probably wouldn't have that close a relationship with some of them.
Well, I mean, unless you're like that.
You'd be like,
what is that family?
3 of them go running down the hallway and you're like, Fred and whoever the fuck the other 2 are.
Well, no, you're right, because what about that? What is it?
You guys live here?
19
Are you
kids?
one of my kids, or you're just a neighbor kid that wandered in?
19 kids and counting. That senator
fuck
and his
that
wife. They
plague
had that
on
show.
the earth.
And then fucking, it turns out one of his kids was molesting his sisters for years, and no one in the family knew it. And then when they found out, they were like,
Right.
"Hey, we're just gonna sweep this under the rug because
Oh,
because
really?
Christianity. There.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I can cede the point to you, Aaron. You
Well, there were so many people in that family, they probably didn't even know they were related. So this guy's over all the time. What the fuck?
Here's Uncle BB. Why is Uncle BB always checking his blood sugar? Don't worry about it.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard enough keeping tabs on 1 or 2 kids. Come on.
That's perfect.
Actually, thank you for listening, liking, and sharing Unregimented on Facebook and following Unregimented on Twitter at UnregimentedPod. If you like Unregimented, please tell a friend to visit ChristopherMedia.net. You can subscribe to Unregimented on iTunes for free just by clicking through the iTunes banner at ChristopherMedia.net. You can also show your support for Unregimented when you buy something on iTunes just by clicking through the iTunes banner at ChristopherMedia.net. It won't cost you anything extra, and it shows your support for Unregimented. While you're on iTunes, please remember to write a review and rate Unregimented 5 stars. Just click on the iTunes banner at ChristopherMedia.net. Android users can listen to Unregimented for free at ChristopherMedia.net by clicking on the Stitcher radio player on our homepage. You can also listen to Unregimented for free at TuneIn.com or by downloading their free TuneIn radio app. Don't forget, you can always listen to Unregimented for free across any platform just by going to ChristopherMedia.net. Make sure to check out all of the podcasts on ChristopherMedia.net. Mondays and Fridays, you have Unregimented. Reach us at UnregimentedPod on Twitter. Tuesdays and Fridays, you have the Weedsman Podcast. Find those guys at the Weedsman420 on Twitter. Wednesday, you have the Projection Booth, projection-booth.com, or at ProBoothCast on Twitter. Saturday, you have the Captain's Table at Captain's Podcast on Twitter. You can also check out one of our new shows, well, new to us. It's the Ugly Club Podcast. It's another movie podcast, but these guys go with more of a theme each week rather than just one movie. You can check them out at Ugly Club Podcast on Twitter or uglyclubpodcast.com. If you like Unregimented and want to show your support for Unregimented, you can donate to Christopher Media by clicking through the PayPal button at ChristopherMedia.net. If you use Amazon.com, please click through the Amazon banner at ChristopherMedia.net and bookmark the link. It won't cost you anything extra, and when you buy something, you will show your support for Unregimented. If you're looking to launch your own website, please click through the HostGator banner at ChristopherMedia.net. That's who we use to host Unregimented. When you sign up for HostGator by clicking through the banner at ChristopherMedia.net, you are helping to support Unregimented.
All right, what's next? Some of this shit I just want to get off my chest.
Hey man, if it's going to be a Let It Rip episode, go ahead. We'll get heel
I think
purpose
that's-
and
You're going to
moderate.
grind your gears?
I think that's what's going to happen here. Selfies. So the need for selfies has outweighed the actual numbers of selfies that exist, right? This is an imbalance in our world that we are experiencing currently, to the point where not only are we enjoying actual selfies, the picture that was taken with the camera in the hand of the person that's in the picture, but we are distributing pictures of other people taking pictures of themselves, taking pictures
We got meta
with the
selfies
camera,
going on now.
right?
So
On CNN, on fucking CNN, to follow up with last week's story of the exact fucking same thing, there were 26 selfies of the week, and half of them were somebody capturing somebody else taking a picture of themselves with their camera. I'm like, this is...
Aaron and I have been
It's
discussing
not a
this.
fucking selfie.
I don't like myself that much. Maybe it's a self-esteem issue, but I don't think I'm that cool. Plus, I always feel like a complete fucking asshole when I'm taking a selfie. Because I
can't
feel like you look like the biggest dickbag in the world trying to aim a camera at yourself.
can I be honest?
What are you giving yourself, blue steel?
I've twice
I've taken a couple.
Since I've had a smartphone felt the desire to take one. One was at the Faith No More concert. I wanted to turn around and take a picture of like the stage behind me and me click, and then I was just like, I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah, like the last selfie I took was like me in the fucking Colorado Rockies. I was like,
Okay.
This is worth it. You know,
Yeah.
but not like,
Sure.
hey, taking a dump. Hey, just ate a taco. You know, hey, waiting in line to mail a letter. There's just people that feel the need to do this. And I am not one of those people. So I share your rage.
Well, you're also not a teenage girl.
I don't know.
Well, yeah.
It does help.
But there's
No,
people
or-
too, and
or-
not just
or-
selfies.
or-
There's people that need to take a picture of everything. What happened to remembering things?
Well, like Rich
Yeah, I'm not
said,
a
weed
big
affects
picture-taking
memory.
guy. I mean, okay, first kid took a shit ton of pictures.
Second kid.
Second kid,
Fuck that kid.
hey, I
was
love
I born?
I
Popping
love
the tape
both
from the
kids
first
the
one.
same. Maybe the girl better, but
Oh, wow.
but there are so many more pictures of my son than my daughter.
They'll both
My
hate
son
you at
was born-
14. They won't
born
matter.
first.
I never understood the selfie craze. I'll be honest with you. I've taken literally, I can count on one hand how many, and it's usually so like, just like for someone's like, hey, send me a picture of what you look like now, like a family member or something.
Mm-hmm.
Click, and I send it, and they're like, it's blurry, and I'm like, well, my camera sucks. Fuck you. Send me money for a better one. You get a better picture.
Right. Selfies were like, getting sent a crotch shot or, some boobs.
Yeah. Well, we've had that conversation, but yeah. Just ask. Just ask.
But it's not the selfies that I'm mad at. I don't. Go ahead. Have your selfies, world. You have my permission. But we must abolish any photo of somebody else taking a picture of themselves.
The meta selfies.
That I do not want to see any more fucking meta selfie pictures. It's like, because it's like these celebrities or wannabe celebrities or whatever the fuck, where it's like, hey, we don't actually know Tom Cruise, so we couldn't get the picture that he took of himself with the phone, but here's us taking a picture of Tom Cruise taking a picture of himself.
With his phone, yeah. No, I got you.
Like, before you post that to your website, CNN, just kill yourself.
It's not great. It's not good enough to be voyeuristic. We have to be voyeuristic
And
No, we're being-
narcissistic.
and yes,
We're being voyeuristic, and we're being voyeuristic upon the narcissistic.
We're America.
well, yeah, you
Yeah,
know, that's what we
that's
do.
it.
We excel at making people famous who have no reason to be famous.
As long as we're talking about things that I want to see go away, one of the selfies, and again, this was another meta selfie, but it was a woman. At least it looked kind of like a woman. The person was very fake, so I think they were going for a woman vibe, but it actually kind of looked like Michael Jackson if you like scared him and then punched him in the mouth.
Oh,
Like super white with puffy lips.
this sounds like
like
a weird sex act.
tiny
I have to
little-
look up on Urban
Yeah, I know,
Dictionary.
right?
But this woman
$250 for
she
whatever
was
this
taking
is
a
called.
picture of herself, which I believe they call a selfie, with her phone that had this case around it that looked like a pistol. And it wasn't. I mean, obviously, you can imagine how big the thing could fucking be, but like just put a fucking pistol grip on an iPhone, basically. But it had the whole barrel and everything else on there. So, I mean, do we not have enough fucking problems with people getting shot for no reason that we're going to put, near life-size replicas of guns on our phones to wave around?
I have not seen that. So
Another thing for a cop to say he feels his life is threatened over.
But if they're pointing it at themselves, I mean, there's no danger to the public.
Okay.
What are they going to do? Shoot the suicidal person?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Especially if he's darker than the fucking ginger with a suntan.
Well,
If he's not
Let's
white,
see if I
it's
could-
game on.
Yeah, I know. Hey, bunch of bikers in Waco. Okay, guys, calm down. Bunch of looters in
no.
Baltimore.
No.
Send in that National Guard.
No. What is this music?
This is Chris fucking with you. He's trolling
There it
you.
is.
And he's
Look-
trolling softly, and it's working.
Look up selfie
hurts.
of the week, or CNN selfies of the week, and you'll see the chick that looks like Michael Jackson holding up a gun.
Of course, after I take my glasses off, because
But I want to keep hearing Nickelback.
You can do both.
No one wants
it's
to do
called
that.
tabs. Where the fuck have you been?
We tried
we
that
do not have
once.
enough RAM. Can't keep them shits open.
Was it CNN selfie of the week? Look at me, 26 selfies of the week. Oh, I see what you're going. I see where you're going.
Look,
there.
tell me I'm wrong. Look at that picture. Damn it. Get your. You know what? It's all the way to the end of this list. Go
Who was that?
backwards.
Seinfeld and Julie Louis.
Don't go to the right. Go to the left.
I would totally nail Julia Louis.
I would
Dreyfus.
nail
Oh
her.
my god.
I'll nail her now.
You
I would
are an
nail her.
old
Isn't
man.
she hot as hell in Veep?
It's not in this season's intro, but on previous seasons' intros where they had little pictures of her floating across with the theme music
Is
playing.
that what you're talking about?
There's no fuck off. That's like that right there. The other bitch that was a transvestite. Looked like a Joker.
Oh my god! If a
stand-in.
black person held that, they'd be dead.
Yes, yeah, big
Right.
time.
Do you see what I mean?
That is
It
the-
looks like a fucking gun.
That is
Good
the
lord.
worst product I have ever seen in my life.
right.
Yeah, hold that up in front of a cop.
The
see
only
what
reason
happens.
she's
That's like
getting
a
away
flesh-
with that is she's lily white and blonde, and I'm not even sure a woman. I mean, look at that.
That's like
She's
a
at least
fleshlight
half a
filled
woman.
with icy hot. That does not fucking. That is not a good product, man.
You know, you got to make sure that you post this photo the day this podcast comes out, because people have to fucking see. Anyone listening has to go to, it'll probably be up on Twitter, and see the photo of the woman taking a picture of herself with the pistol gun.
And if you're like me and you're not on Twitter, I'll make sure just send it to me through the conversation. I'll make sure that ends up on Facebook, because that's probably going up tonight.
Doesn't it look like a blonde, frightened Michael Jackson that's been punched in the face?
That is.
Look at the
why
nose.
Would that woman do that to herself? Why would that so-called woman do that to herself?
She's hiding a lot of her face with those big aviators, but you can tell there's just like at least 35 to 40% plastic in that thing. That thing being her face, by the way. You weren't sure what I was referring to.
By the way, Max, you all right over there?
Oh, I'm great.
Because you just hacking like a tuberculosis ward. You're just killing us. He's laying a sound bed of cough. That's all.
It's a nice white noise. It's better than Nickelback.
That's a well.
There you go.
I don't know.
The woman in the mirror.
Well, the big international news was
Sure, that's not LaToya Jackson.
I know.
Like, seriously, now that I look at her, I'm like, that's a blonde LaToya.
It does.
Has anyone seen
exactly
LaToya?
what it looks like.
Regardless, this person
No.
went to the same nose surgeon.
If that was LaToya Jackson, a cop would have shot her already.
Oh.
Yeah.
Before she could have got that
I
picture
can
out.
sense your once blackness.
Yeah, we know you're black.
I feel in danger for my life. Bam, 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 bam.
Black enough.
Oh, anyway.
No.
That's some good racism right there.
It's good old school passive
So
aggressive.
international news.
It makes me feel at home.
We are from the South.
Big
Yep.
FIFA scandal. Did you guys hear about this?
No, because it's soccer.
Come on.
Okay, if you're bringing this up, I'm bringing up later how come African Americans are no longer into baseball. That's only fair.
No, there's this huge scandal that there was a bunch of corruption. There was all these guys. I don't even know. People who head up what.
You know, we know
FIFA.
Aaron isn't into sports. He's bringing us a story about soccer.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right? I know.
Well, if anything,
What's next? Women's lacrosse?
this corruption is
WNBA.
this corruption is so deep. It just
I do have a good story
It
about
proves that soccer has the potential to be a great American sport.
No, the people in America who love soccer, and I have a few friends, they love soccer. Like when the World Cup happens, that shit's like the Olympics, the Super Bowl, the World Series, the Stanley Cup, all rolled into one for them. And that's
Right.
they just take over my fucking news feed for
Well,
the entire time that's going on.
A lot of this was about the fact that they have these World Cup events or whatever, and that's a huge tourist draw, and there's a lot of money behind where that sports event goes.
Yeah, and
Right.
what is it? 20? Is it 2022? It goes to Qatar,
Well,
which is what
I
I think.
fucking don't know, but it was. So
I'm trying. You're killing me, son.
I want to say it's going to the UAE.
there's been like millions of dollars trading hands here, deciding on where this thing,
It's
where
like we're-
their big events go.
It's like when we decide what city gets the Super Bowl. You know there's
Right.
shady shit going on behind the scenes.
Right, or like Olympic scandal.
But FIFA does think, because they're a worldwide organization, that they're damn near bulletproof.
But they've proven that they almost are.
Oh no, there were 11 arrests.
Yeah, and they're extradited them to the U.S. to face federal charges.
Yes, because
Well,
they were fucking
things
with
have-
American money.
Things have changed since I heard about it on John Oliver.
See? He's up on current events.
But this is the same sport where somebody was like horribly cheating, like intentionally trying to injure somebody or something. Oh no, it was the whole thing about the fall, the fake fall in that.
Oh, them diving in
Right, the fake dives.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's
That's an honored tradition in soccer.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a dude just breezes past you, barely. It doesn't even make contact, but it looks like he could have,
Right.
and you just go and fall back like you're fucking
In an
Reggie
old
Miller
spaghetti western.
There's probably a lot of football fans outside of the U.S. that are like, yeah, corruption is an honored tradition as well.
It is. It is. It's
And so is wearing a scarf and beating somebody's ass after the game.
There's a movie. I'm surprised you haven't seen it, even though it's about footy.
Yeah.
It's called Green Street Hooligans.
Yeah.
With Elijah Wood. He's a American from Boston who's a huge Boston Red Sox fan. I can't remember what the premise is. I think he gets a job over in Europe, and he goes to a sports bar to try to watch the Red Sox, and they're like, turn that shit off, put on the footy game. And he's like, what the fuck? And he falls in with the football fans, and it's literally like it gives you a glimpse inside that entire culture. And
I think I've seen that movie.
It is. Have you?
It sounds like something an ex-girlfriend forced me to watch.
It's actually a good movie. It's actually a good movie because it shows you that sports fans are nuts wherever they are. Once you reach a certain level, like my team loses, I'm like, oh, that sucks. Whatever. I might drink a couple extra beers, but I'm not like going and beating the shit out of the other team's fans because my team lost.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, but the British are still weird.
Well, you brought up the
they're fanatic sport fans like you get any place, but I don't know.
The one thing I think
they're a little more extreme.
The one thing from soccer that has been absorbed into American sports, or at least more prevalent in NBA, I think it goes on a little bit in NFL too, is the flop.
Oh, definitely.
The making a bigger
flop.
Deal.
Yeah, that's where
Reggie Miller.
That's what I was trying to describe earlier.
When Jordan retired, Reggie Miller and the New York Knicks, that series, Reggie Miller should have got a fucking Academy Award for his. Anytime John Starks even came near him, he was falling back, acting like he just got shot, like back and to the left, back and to the left.
LeBron's a pretty good actor too.
And that motherfucker's built like a tank, and you can't take it to the fucking hole. You're gonna get fouled and fall over. Come on, man! You're one of the biggest dudes on the fucking.
But a lot of these guys, and I bet you it goes on in soccer too. Speaking purely reckless speculation here, talking out of my ass. A lot of these guys probably think they do it because they can get away with it because of who they are. LeBron's gonna get that call
he's
9 times out of 10 because of who he is.
Maybe it's because I wasn't any good at most of the sports I played, and I was a smaller guy, but it was a pride thing not to let them know they got me back.
Maybe it's using outdated because hasn't he retired by now, but David Beckham's going to get the call.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but when I played catcher and some dude would run me over at home plate, like I stood up like, that's right. That's right.
No, come on. It's my house.
Yes.
It's got 5 sides. You can't come in this bitch.
And meanwhile, I had a bone sticking out underneath it, and I'm like, I'm all right. I rubbed dirt on it, coach. I'm just hurt. I'm not injured.
Yeah, I rubbed dirt on that bone and shove it back in the skin.
But it seems like a matter of pride, but nowadays in sports, it's like whatever gets you over. And, I mean, that's another thing that I know.
Yeah, they're going to have to put a different wing on the Baseball Hall of Fame for the the chemically altered era.
Yeah. Whatever gets you to that like A-Rod's contract is if he reaches this many home runs, he gets this bonus. Now he's reached it. But the Yankees are going, well, since you admitted you did, steroids and you got caught and you got banned for a year. Oh, we're not paying it. We're not paying it. And it's like, motherfucker, you had Jason Giambi on your team, an admitted steroid user, Andy Pettit, who came out and apologized, and you're retiring his number. Okay, Clemens.
They act like this is out of some sort of honor.
Yeah.
This is just any excuse to get out of paying millions of dollars.
Paying the money.
They were probably running the roids to those guys.
Yes, they were. Mm-hmm. Like Mr. A-Rod.
Yeah,
are you
wasn't there that trainer that Clemens just threw directly under the bus, like set him on fire, and then had the bus run him over?
Yeah. Same thing with Bonds. A dude went to fucking federal prison for Barry Bonds. I'm gonna tell you what. Bernie Mac said it best. Guys got to think about being a punk. I ain't no punk. I didn't snitch. He's like, I did a show in a prison. I was like, how long you in here for? He goes, ever. He's like, that's a long fucking time when you take the 4 off that motherfucker. And I was like, so what you in here for? I ain't a punk. I didn't snitch on my boy. So you're doing life for another guy? No, you ain't a punk. You a new fool. That's what the fuck you are. Because I'd be in court like, anybody got something to testify? Your Honor, jumping up and down. What's your name? Punk. I saw him shoot him. I saw him stab him. I saw him bury him. I tried to call you, but the line was busy. I don't know what to do. So.
Now hook me up with the witness protection program.
I'll be a punk all day. Fuck that. And that dude took fucking, I think, 4 or 5 years in a federal prison for Barry Bonds. Man, fuck that.
Barry Bonds better be sending everyone in his family to college.
Like, look, man, I love sports, but this is how insane sports became in our society. Like this, we let people break fucking federal crime, shit that we throw people in fucking prison for life. They get a couple years because it's steroids. You get caught with a couple pounds crossing the fucking state line. That's a federal, that's a federal offense. Boom, you're looking at a federal prosecutor breathing down your neck, overcharging you, hoping you plead it down. It's ridiculous. We're back asswards in how we look at shit like that. Seriously, we really are. It's something that I think you guys, we may have touched on it before. Didn't we talk about how in states where medical marijuana has been legalized, or did you guys do this on the Weedsman? Prescription.
Yeah, we did.
Prescription pill death has actually went down.
Yes. Yeah. Well, absolutely.
Yep. It is not weird. This is not reckless speculation. They are chewing less opiates in Colorado because people have access to different medication.
Exactly. And
the deaths are going down. And
I mean,
I don't know how Big Pharma feels about Vicodin prescriptions being
probably
less in
not
Colorado.
great.
Well, Max my brother Max has been taking a tour of the Continental 48, doing a Toddzilla in country. He's like Toddzilla Jr. right now, and
Except for Texas and California.
Well, of course, Texas because it's Texas and
fuck,
California.
I'm not going to federal prison
California
for
because
possession.
you didn't pack enough bottled water. I got you,
Max, not applicable in Texas or California.
But,
prohibited in Nevada.
Holding up a cardboard sign on the roadside just says no Texas.
No, he actually drove himself. So, but when you were in Colorado, how would you say? Because Colorado completely legalized it, correct?
Yeah.
It's not just.
It's recreational and medical. Yeah, you can just walk in as long as you're above 21. You can walk into a dispensary, show them your ID, and just buy weed.
Give me that weed, son.
Okay, and how would you say the police, from the people you talked to when you were there, from what you witnessed when you were there,
Right.
how would you say the police looked at that? I mean, did they come to terms with it? Did they make their peace with it, or was it?
To my knowledge, from the people I was speaking to, it was mostly a matter of like they wouldn't go out of their way to hunt you down for it. Like if you were walking around in public smoking a joint, you might get busted depending on the region of the city you're in and the region of the state you're in. But for the most part, they're chill with it. Like I saw people smoking in their cars with pieces, not just blunts and joints, like actual pieces in their fucking car, just driving down the freeway. Just doing their thing.
I heard it goes on.
I don't know.
Yeah,
might have seen. I don't know when I looked in the mirror once or twice, but when I was younger. But
That guy in the mirror smoking a bowl. He's driving a car.
and he looks a lot like me. Asshole.
That's why I point my mirrors away from myself.
Oh shit.
Well, how about this one?
Sorry, go ahead, Aaron.
The Pentagon sent out live anthrax to a bunch of different testing facilities in possibly 9 states. Did you hear that story?
For why? Just to see how they'd react?
No.
Okay.
No, they have, it was sent out in the U.S. and one sample was sent to South Korea for them to do anthrax detecting tests on. No, but the whole thing is,
it was in my headphones.
It was supposed to be dead anthrax culture, and it turned out to be live.
Oh,
or some of it did, and they're not really sure how much of it that went out is actually live.
That's actually more terrifying.
Yeah.
You would hope they would know by now.
Well, the Center for what is it? Center for Disease Control or
CDC.
Yeah. The thing that was in Walking Dead.
Well, they got one in Vermont. They got one in Georgia.
Season.
Yeah.
So they're actually going around collecting it. It's probably, there's been no deaths reported. It was just interesting that, our own country's shipping live anthrax all over the place and didn't even know it.
I heard Scott Ian is pissed.
Yeah, they didn't even charge anything. It's piracy.
I know. He's calling Lars right now. He's like, what do I do? And Lars is like, sue him.
Fire your pool guy. You're fucked. You're going to have to sell a Bentley.
You're going to have to, next Mission Impossible, you're going to have to do a theme song for.
Your private jet trips are limited to 3 or 4 times a year. But, my favorite part about reading this story, this is one that I read on Fox News, and which I mostly just, visit for entertainment. And the comment sections are great, and they update.
God.
They update live too. Like you can just sit there and watch them pop up one after another.
I'm gonna make a Facebook account as Jesus and go troll Fox News.
And so
they love that.
The headline of the story is, Pentagon sends out live anthrax virus to 9 states, and you read the article and it explains why, what happened, and all that shit. But comment pops up on it. Why would the government do that? Like, you just don't read the article. You just like read the headline and then go right to the comment section and start typing.
In my experience, that's about 60% of most comment sections, to be perfectly honest.
Right. They're not even reading the body of
No, they skim the headline and they just get angry and they go straight to the comment section like, what the fuck?
But the fucking, you know what? The media knows what they're doing when they do that too.
Oh yeah, the headlines are intentionally sensationalized so people do just get angry and have an immediate reaction.
Because the more hits they get, the more people are passing it around based off of an inflammatory headline. Yeah.
We all have that racist aunt.
I'm sorry, say again?
I said we all have that racist aunt.
Oh yeah. Aunt.
Whatever.
Aunt. Sorry. Is your father dead too? Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, Stewie. Didn't realize fucking.
Listen, I have taste. I don't watch Family Guy.
I wanted.
Oh, you lying sack. Anyways,
you've been watching it.
Pound it.
No, this
pound it.
Oh, that's a fake pound on
no,
your
it's
end.
Not.
That is a
it
fake
is not.
pound.
You watch it.
No,
I just don't bitch about your choice in TV. I am a good person.
Every once in a while, you'll get a good laugh off the show. And there's a couple moments that I think are just genius. But, I mean, it's literally like a handful. For the most part, not a whole lot of good shit on that show.
Okay, Max, what's your go-to animated show?
I guess Archer?
You got to pound it again.
We were watching Archer earlier, man.
Here's the proof. Here's the proof.
Hipster's right over here.
No. He ain't a hipster.
I'm not.
He listened. That's what he did, because we talked about it earlier. You know, go ahead. Yeah, all right.
No, I mean,
you want
I was
the truth?
paying attention, but
you want the truth? I'd rather watch Boondocks, but I didn't want to.
Man, Boondocks is whack.
I liked the Boondocks, but I didn't watch it all the way through.
This is what I get. Yeah.
All right. I want to do a quick follow-up. Maybe it was the week before last. I was talking about Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. I was talking about Douglas Adams. Was I not? Were you not on the podcast where I was talking about Douglas Adams?
That was the one without Chris. Chris was
when I just posted.
Chris was actually having fun.
That was
in
last
Vegas.
week then.
Yeah.
So I actually did. I picked up the first issue of Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. It was possibly the worst comic that I've ever paid money for.
Oh shit! That's a bold statement.
It was sad and showed me why. Because one of the things I was remarking on is how nobody's taken this wonderful universe that Douglas Adams created and expanded on any of the characters. And there's a good reason for that. Because nobody can write those characters but Douglas Adams, obviously. Not even a chuckle out of me. And I was primed. I was excited to read this. I was like...
was, without a doubt, the worst episode ever.
There's only...
that I was on the internet within minutes, registering my disgust throughout the world.
Right in the comments section.
So, yeah, that was a big failure. I had to even go and cancel that.
Damn!
I went into the store, the comic book shop today, and I was like, I know that you special ordered that Dirk Gently for me, but you're going to have to kill that. That is no good.
Wow.
But I'm pleased to report that Fight Club 2, pretty fucking awesome. You read a little bit of it earlier.
Yes, from what I perused, I approve. It actually, dude, to be brutally honest, it actually makes me want to hit a comic book shop.
Yeah.
And actually follow that series and pay what, $4 for that fucking comic? How much is it?
It's $3.50 or $4. I forget which.
Jesus Christ.
I get a 25% discount because I do like kind of a subscription thing with my local shop, but yeah, they're up there. But I believe that you get plenty of entertainment for your money spent on comic books these days.
Were the Pixies too on the nose there, Chris?
Oh,
I said, were the Pixies too on the nose there?
They played the fight song.
Play a little Where's My Mind?
Yeah.
But Fight Club 2 takes place 10 years after the original. And
I thought it was called Fight Club 2, TOO. Like it's about another dude that started a fight club.
No, Fight Club number 2.
Like how Jason Bateman was Teen Wolf.
Yeah, Teen Wolf 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a continuation of the unreliable narrator.
Yeah. And
is it still Tyler Durden?
Well, I was telling you earlier that it's actually written by Chuck Palahniuk, and I was expecting it to be very wordy because he's he's very descriptive. He's not. I wouldn't say that his novels themselves are wordy. I'm just saying, like in a comic book medium, you would expect a novelist to.
What was the word? What was no the phrase you use? You expect him to be more like Chris Claremont.
Like Chris Claremont, yeah. Where it's all this exposition and shit. And,
yeah.
Well, I mean,
who's thinking what and all this shit. But there, not to say that there wasn't a lot of narration to it, but it was very, very visually driven.
There we go.
And there was even some parts where, almost like photorealistically, there would be like something on the page that looked like it was laying on it.
The prescription pills, the
flower petals. Yeah, obscuring faces or the ends of sentences or something like that.
Well, if you think about it, Fight Club did a lot visually that was kind of odd, like sticking Tyler Durden into the frames just for a second.
Well,
even before he was introduced.
That's actually a great point, Max, because what if this is Chuck Palahniuk being influenced by, what's his name, the director?
Fincher.
Yeah, David Fincher.
David Fincher, right.
My favorite director.
Yeah, I mean, he did actually admit that he preferred the movie version of Fight Club to the book that he himself wrote. So he may very well have taken inspiration for the comics.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Having being a big fan of the movie, and I've read the book too, but honestly, it wasn't. I think it was like the last Palahniuk novel that I read, because I was so interested in his work, and I was like, well, I just saw Fight Club. Like, I want to see what other kind of stories this guy has.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And so I kind of put off Fight Club, knowing, having watched the movie like numerous times before I actually got into him as an author. I was like, I know it's gonna be different. I don't want it to be weird, or I think, well, that's not how it happened in the movie.
Yeah, you don't want to come in with pre-expectations,
right? So I kind of put it off for a while, but yeah, I think this is kind of coming full circle for him. It's like he wrote a book that inspired an amazing movie that then inspired him to kind of change the way that he presented this story.
Yeah, well, I mean, Arthur C. Clarke did that with the Odyssey series. He wrote 2001, and they don't go to Jupiter,
right.
They go to Saturn.
Right.
In 2001. And 2010, 2061, 3001, the rest of the series is based off of the fact that they went to Jupiter, which is basically Kubrick's rewrite of Arthur C. Clarke's original script.
Right.
So, yeah. No, I mean, it happens. And I mean, I'm not calling David Fincher on the level of Kubrick, but I think David I think history's going to put him as one of the great directors.
Yeah, definitely very close.
Yeah, who can take already amazing or weird or strange source material and turn it into something even better. Kind of like Darren Aronofsky did with Requiem for a Dream.
And kind of like the opposite of the Dune movie.
I still have a soft spot in my heart for the David Lynch version of Dune.
It's just too wildly off course for me, I guess.
No, I got you, but at the same time, I still have a very soft spot for the sci-fi version, the miniseries of Dune and
Children of
Dune, which combine Dune Messiah and Children of Dune.
Yeah.
I mean, now we're really, once again, we can nerd out on Dune. I don't want to do that.
Well, speaking of Dune, David Lynch I've been reading about him lately because they've been talking about bringing Twin Peaks back.
Yes.
To Showtime.
That diner that they originally had, they're redoing it.
Right.
The way they did it in the 90s, it looked in the 90s because they're redoing this. They're bringing it back.
I don't know if how much you've read about it, but David Lynch actually pulled out for a while. Mm-hmm. He's back in, though. This was like a couple weeks ago that I read that he's probably just a negotiation tactic,
Well, I can't. But David Lynch also strikes me as a kind of very Tim Burton. Tim Burton before Tim Burton.
Yeah,
he's an auteur.
Yeah, he's like I'm a
yeah, but he's kind of OCD too. Like he hasn't done a lot of interviews or anything, but in one of them that I read, it described how for like 15 years, and this was probably almost 10 years ago that I read it now, he might still be doing it, but he ate dinner at the same Big Boy restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Every day, and had the same thing every day.
Yeah. David Lynch is, for maybe about a 5-minute period, he's in the documentary Pearl Jam 20.
Oh,
And,
okay.
you get from the documentary that Stone Gossard is a huge David Lynch fan, and he references a few things, and David Lynch is just sitting there talking about it, and you realize that like this dude, he lives in his own bubble, and the rest of the world happens around him. And if you want to get to know David Lynch, you have to enter his bubble. Like his bubbles, and you're going to penetrate it. You are more than welcome into his bubble, but he's not going to come outside of it to meet you. And if you watch his movies, Wild at Heart was insane when that first came out. Like no one knew how to fucking take that goddamn movie, dude. Same thing with Blue Velvet, but Wild at Heart really fucking threw people for a loop, man.
I did last time I did acid. Did it with some people, and we were had like 3 other people that I did it with. We didn't really have anything to do, and I was like, "All right, let's watch a movie." Wild at Heart.
Oh.
Not David Lynch fans. Never seen the fucking movie. I blew their fucking minds that night.
I did. Jesus Christ. Just real quick, the only worst thing I say is I did ask with a bunch of people who had never seen American History X or Kids.
Oh God!
And I threw both of them at them that night. And by the end of Kids, they were like, I can't. Can we watch something happy? Can we see if South Park's on?
Did you pry their eyelids open with toothpicks?
You're
force them to watch it.
You're not a fan of Kids?
No, I'm just saying that's an intense experience.
Yeah, especially when you're tripping balls.
Yeah.
But,
No, but I wanted. I was going to ask you if David Lynch talked really loud because his character in Twin Peaks, the agent with the hearing problem.
Yeah.
I'm a really big fan of Pearl Jam. I said.
No, for the most part, he was rather laid back and comes off as very normal until he starts talking. So
he doesn't have crazy eyes.
No, I would say maybe possibly if he was born in the early 80s, he would probably be diagnosed somewhere on the spectrum. But because he's the age he is, we just call him eccentric.
And he's rich.
And he has a lot of money.
And once you have money, you're allowed to do
anything. If he was homeless, he'd be on the spectrum.
Yeah, well, he'd just be batshit crazy. We wouldn't.
Right.
Another thing I want to that you brought up to me is another comic you picked up was the Mad Max Fury Road comic.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you had mentioned this whole feminism backlash on Mad Max.
Don't put that shit on me. I just saw it.
You had mentioned it.
Okay.
You had brought it to my attention.
Feminism is a broad issue.
Right. Well, I wanted to get to this because I was reading some about it.
Thank you.
Oh, I see what he did there. Sorry, it's late.
There you go.
It takes a second for you to realize it. He's an insufferable smartass, just like I am. So
I'm pretty sufferable.
No, not really.
Say fuck you.
Is this from the Mad Max soundtrack or?
Damn it!
Ignore.
Charlie barks at you.
Man,
do this or I'll rip your balls off.
Look, the hottest I ever thought she looked was in Hancock. Yo, she could do whatever she wanted to me in Hancock. She could peg me. Looking the way she looked in Hancock. I mean, ouch. Just give me some amyl nitrate. I'll hit a popper. Release the sphincter. Go ahead up in there, baby.
All right, I just gotta look up. Here it is.
Return of the Kings. I believe that was the review.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Bring it down now. So,
Rich, you had brought up the feminist slant on the Mad Max movie, which it did. I'm not going to say it shocked me. I haven't seen the movie, but I was
Neither have I.
From what I know about it, I've read about what the plot's about. I've seen the previews, and I was like, yeah, there's some really strong female characters in there, notably Charlize Theron. I mean, I don't know how. I understand the movie's called Mad Max, but how do you not know that that's going to be a big part of it going into it?
Well, let's pause for 1 second. Have you seen The Road Warrior?
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
there was a very strong female lead in that movie. They had, when the dude with the Jason mask showed up and all them showed up.
Even in that tribe of kids,
very strong female. She was the leader. She was the leader.
Where the fuck have you guys been?
Yeah, this is nothing new for a Mad Max movie.
I think
This is like going to see a Conan reboot and being like, what's with the shirtless oily guy?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this male propaganda?
I think the accusation is that she's taking up more screen time than the supposed title character.
Right. Well, so the fuck what?
Yeah, I mean, who cares? But that's what they're bitching about.
Right.
Well, that's what...
It stemmed... The whole controversy
douchebag
seemed to have
MRAs are
stemmed
bitching about.
from... what was it again? It was from a website called...
Return of the Kings.
Right.
It's an MRA website disguised as a men's right activist website disguised as not that. It's
Kinda
like, we're not racist, but hey,
we go to Stormfront.
We're not sexist.
We go to Stormfront, and boy, there's a bunch of darkies, man. What are we gonna do about them?
Yeah, fuck those Jews. Yeah,
I thought it was where people were sharing their images, like, you know, went and got screened, share their MRAs.
No.
Why? Is that what you get?
Why are MRA hangouts always named after nerd movies?
I didn't know
the Red
was.
Pill.
Really?
The Return of the Kings is named after Lord of the Rings.
It's a bunch of guys not getting fucked and they're mad about it.
Yeah.
Why do they have to have the same interests we do, though? It's offensive.
What's this wee shit, white boy?
Yeah, fuck you.
Half Mexican.
Being nerdy and not
fuck you
getting laid
twice.
is not an exclusive club.
Yeah. It's a very, very large club.
It's inclusive, actually. No, I
More music from the soundtrack?
here's basically what I saw.
Here it is.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I wanted, because I keep bringing up the Return of the Kings. This is what they actually said. Fury Road was not going to be a movie made for men. It was going to be a feminist piece of propaganda posing as a guy flick. Posing as a guy flick. What the fuck does that even mean?
Oh, look, there's explosions. We'll get the guys in here. That's it.
The real issue is not whether feminism has infiltrated and co-opted Hollywood, ruining nearly every potential good action flick with a forced female character or an unnecessary romance subplot to eke out that extra 3 million in female attendees.
And then it goes on to say it has.
I don't believe... That was amazing.
All right, real quick.
I think that's like a run-on and incomplete sentence.
Oh, well, no one said these guys
Holy
graduated
shit.
from Columbia. Okay,
Yeah.
and
then a whole paragraph to itself. It has.
Okay, just
Drive that point home.
Let me take a quick. Have we all seen the movie Aliens?
Yeah.
The second Alien movie. The second movie in the Aliens.
You seen Aliens? An alien?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
That thing jumps out of that guy's stomach.
When you saw Sigourney Weaver in that movie, were you like, oh my God, they're trying to pimp this strong woman on me? Or were you like, go fuck that queen alien up. Go. Were you like rooting for her, or were you like...
At no point did I watch that and go, this is turning my world upside down. Women can't be strong female leads that shoot guns and operate heavy machinery.
And that was 20 years ago.
Right.
I never once as a kid looked at that movie and was like, I don't want to watch this movie because the guy isn't the hero.
For the record, it's 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Was it?
You are old.
Hey,
Yeah.
Oh,
everybody.
shit, it was, wasn't it?
Right. Everybody's got insecurities, right?
I'm going to eat cyanide now. Go ahead.
Rich,
have a good show.
regardless of what your insecurities might be, they are not so deeply rooted that we are threatened by strong females. Right, that's what it's about, is insecurity of, I don't know, your male virility, what it means to be a man.
They're threatening your masculinity.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, I'd rather have a woman in the trenches who is my partner in crime, right there next to me, and can, you know what I'm saying, can hold her own. I don't have to. If we go back to back, I don't have to worry about something getting me from behind. She don't have to worry about something getting her from behind because we trust each other.
Unless it's you.
Well,
See
I
what
mean,
did
you know.
there?
Hey.
This jackass from Return of the Kings goes on to say, the real issue is not whether Hollywood has the audacity to remove a namesake of a movie franchise called Mad Freaking Max. I think it's just called Mad Max. And replace it with an impossible female character in an effort to kowtow to feminism. It has.
And once again,
Okay.
and Beyond Thunderdome, fucking this song right here.
What is it?
Tina Turner was the leader of fucking Bartertown.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, again, I have not seen the movie. Maybe Charlize Theron flies. I don't know. But what's so impossible about her character?
in the Mad Max world, as long as she does what is accepted in the Mad Max world,
she's not shooting lasers out of her eyes.
Yeah. She's not. It's not like she flew in from the Avengers or Hancock and was like, I can do this.
No, yeah, I'm assuming, but I bet you this guy gave the last Avengers movie a thumbs up, which is just filled with impossible things.
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, there's very little reality based in it.
I sincerely doubt she breaks the laws of in universe at all.
Right.
He's just complaining because impossible to him means a strong female character
being able to kick any guy's ass.
Yeah, that's not in his worldview.
Who's that female Ronda Rousey or something? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was like, I'll fight Merriweather, and you know what? He wants to hug me. I'll put his ass in an arm bar right now. Let's do it. You know what?
All right, get Daniels.
And I say bitch with all due respect because that's a bad bitch. She would do it.
You Road came out. The masculine blog, Return of Kings, saw the movie and they said it was the most feminist movie they've ever seen. It ended up getting attacked by CNN and other mainstream media outlets saying, "Oh, they're just pro-male, they're just being sexist. It's a good movie, blah blah." So me and Jakari went out and saw it for ourselves, and I got to say, it's the most feminist movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh no!
One thing. The whole movie kind of pits, without giving too much detail on the plot, the whole movie kind of pits male against female. And the men are the women actually blame the men for destroying the world through the nuclear holocaust or what have you.
They're right.
And then the men are kind of seen as cult-like and kind of, caveman style. They worship, automobiles, and this and that.
I'll stop you when you're wrong.
Women are kind of seen as the more reasonable aspect of civilization that's left. So it's kind of ridiculous how it's turned into this whole gender war thing. And also another thing I didn't like about it, how Max was the women kind of took it as one of theirs. He was kind of their
nice windscreen, asshole.
This interview was so important you could do it inside.
One scene in the movie, he's about to take a shot, and one of the chicks takes the gun from him and shoots instead. It's just kind of by itself, it doesn't seem that feminist. But when you consider how we're all surrounded by all this crap.
Aaron and I are shrugging incredulously at that statement. We're like, what?
I'm just going to stop you right there. By itself, he just saw the movie, the most feminist piece of propaganda that he's ever seen in his life. But by itself, it's not that feminist. What?
So he's complaining about a very minor amount of feminism.
Was it sandwiched in between documentaries on Susan B. Anthony? What the fuck else did you watch?
He got in his Ford F-250 and played this song and drove away.
This goes back.
And then it really seemed feminist.
Can we not?
This goes back to what the fuck we've talked about before multiple times. Victim culture.
Yeah.
And now you got men. Okay, listen.
These men's rights act, it's ridiculous. I'm a white male, and I'm telling you, MRA guys, you are fucking ridiculous.
I'll say this. I saw a meme earlier this week, that I feel is apt, and it's very true. It's a picture of public housing, and it says public housing for women who can't afford to raise their children, and it showed a main line of a prison. Public housing for men who can't afford to support their children. That's the truth. And if you don't like it, I don't know, vote. What the fuck you want me to tell you? That's the truth. But this is equality. True equality is, I don't care who the hero is, black, white, male, female. I don't give a fuck. They're the person I'm rooting for in the movie, and that's all that should matter. Mad Max has always posed things as Mad Max has always been an anti-hero, but the people around him have always been very, very much painted as good and evil, and he's straddled that line. Right. That is what made Mad Max Mad Max. Right. That's how come. Crazy-ass Mel Gibson was so good at playing him.
Mad Max is just getting by, and other people are dragging him into shit.
Yes.
Kind of forcing him to be like, fine, fucking I'll help you.
Yes, yeah.
Whatever.
So, true equality, what the fuck does it matter?
That's what, what's brilliant about this Return of the Kings review is that they out themselves. Because to say that this is feminist propaganda because it was kind of like a bait and switch. You thought you were going to go see some shirtless shoot 'em up crazy action He-Man movie, and here you saw these strong women doing the same shit that guys are supposed to be doing. Well, So you are sexist because you're saying guys can only do action flicks and girls do fucking rom-coms.
Exactly.
And that's it. And there's no fucking crossover.
I was pissed when I thought
fucking
Knocked
retarded.
Up was going to be funny, and then it turned out to be a chick movie. You didn't see me starting a movement behind it.
That shit was funny. Fuck you.
It was funny as fuck.
Yeah. Have you had your bloody show yet?
I read the books. I was pissed
Right.
off at the end. Last 10 minutes, I'm like, oh, fuck. This is a chick movie.
And Kevin Smith does a great fucking rom-com, too. Fucking Chasing Amy is brilliant.
Yes. One of his most underrated movies.
And just straight up rom-coms, I'm fucking guilty. I watch them if they're done well enough, if they're entertaining.
Well enough. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the caveat you have to throw in there.
What's I'm trying to think of oh shit, I can't remember that. Never mind. Just edit all that out.
Chris's favorite term, right there.
The original,
because what it says
Sabrina.
is, I've just wasted your time.
With
I wasted like 5 seconds.
I'm just
That's 5 seconds I'm never getting back.
No, I'm saying when I hear it in the show and I'm editing, I hear, I just wasted
We're almost done anyway.
your time.
Okay, JD Rockefeller, we realized your time is money. But calm down, dude. It's
okay.
It's a 3-second edit.
One last thing before we wrap up this week, then, because this is another issue that I brought up before. Now, we've talked about Marvel and what's going on with their different properties. And now some of them in Marvel's leaner years, they've sold off some of their properties to other companies like Sony and Fox. And, they're making X-Men movies and Fantastic Four movies pretty much just to hold on to the rights and squeeze whatever money they can out of them. Mm-hmm. They're not under the whole house of Marvel. Now, the Fantastic Four comic book has come to an end. The X-Men are going to be exiled from what seems to be the entire Marvel universe, and people have cried, well, this is underhanded of Marvel. They're just bitter that they don't own these properties and they can't make billions off of them rather than just a couple million that they're probably making off of licensing them right now. And they've always had good editorial excuses for why, well, no, this is all part of the Master Marvel plan and there's good reasons, and this is all some writer's vision on what he wants to do with mutants in the Marvel universe with their Fantastic Four. If you believed any of that shit, it ends today, because what Marvel put a halt to the production of figurines that have any mutant or Fantastic Four related character involved in them, right? I'm not talking action figures like, $15, $20 go buy at Kmart. These are like things that people pay $75, $100 plus for. Really detailed, beautiful little statues.
I had one of the Wolverine issue where he after that he's Leland Gaunt, made him heavy, and he hit through the bottom. It was during the Phoenix Saga.
Okay.
In the Hellfire Club.
Yeah.
The next issue, it said Wolverine alone, gone wild, or something like that. I had an actual.
Oh, where he crashes into the sewer.
Yeah, I had the next.
Yeah.
The next one was the cover of him like fucking up the Hellfire Club.
Yeah.
Guards, and it had the comic, and then it had him and a bunch of Hellfire guards. And he was fucking them up.
Yeah.
That was the statue.
That's actually a pretty famous scene because that got a lot of backlash. Actually, Marvel kind of pulled back on Wolverine as a character after that because he literally is like hacking these guys to pieces.
Yeah, in fact,
and they kind of even retconned the Hellfire minions as like half androids after that.
Yes, they came back after him.
Right,
they came back after him in like the late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah,
yeah. So, but yeah, I had the little like you're talking about the pricey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There was one company in particular that actually announced that they were halting production on some upcoming statues that were going to be released. But yeah, they were like, hey, I know you put all this time and development into getting, there's like going to be some special edition cable thing. And, of course, with the Fantastic Four movie coming out, there's companies that want to, line up with that and get their toys or their figures or whatever out in time. And Marvel's putting the kibosh on that.
Okay, so what you're saying is the conspiracy theory
ain't making us money.
The conspiracy theory that the Fox / Sony that have rights to the Marvel properties, but they're not part of the Marvel property universe.
Well, that's a fact. That's not a conspiracy theory.
No,
they
no, but-
own those characters right now.
They
The
own those
movie
characters.
rights to those characters.
Well, Fox owns
X-Men. Sony owns Spider-Man. Wait, who owns Fantastic Four?
I want to say Sony.
Maybe it is Sony too, yeah.
But what I'm saying is Disney doesn't own the rights.
That's the
to
important
those.
thing. Disney slash Marvel
now
doesn't own it.
they're putting a kibosh on.
They've
any
killed the
X-Men,
comic books.
Fantastic Four. Or
Well, they know they can't kill X-Men comic books. They still have too much draw.
The toys.
But the toys, no. They're yanking the rights to for certain companies to make toys or figures or any kind of or whatever collectible you might have.
Gotcha. So I mean, Marvel is kind of having butthurt moments right now.
Oh yeah, big time. Well, it's business.
So
On
why
one
does-
hand, it's business. They want to acquire those rights back. They want to bring everything back under the Marvel tent and do what they want to do with those properties.
Well, you also
so
have
they devalue it in order to make it more affordable for them to buy it back.
Well,
They devalue that character and they go, "Oh, hey, you only made $20 million on that Fantastic Four? Oh, that's a shame. Why don't you let us put a Marvel stamp on it and you'll easily make 150."
Well, Disney's in a very buyer friendly situation because you have Hugh Jackman who said he's going to do one more.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to do one more
Which
movie
at
as
this
Wolverine.
point he is Wolverine. I mean, come on.
So when he hangs it up, that would be the perfect time for Fox to go, "You know what, Disney? Here. Let's make us some money because if we introduce a new Wolverine and he flops, we're fucked.
Yeah.
We're going to sell you back the rights to the X-Men."
Or at least try and work out some deal like Sony seems. Sony and Marvel both seem kind of pleased with their Spider-Man workout. And maybe it's kind of leveraging...
Because Spider-Man is supposed to appear in Civil War?
Yeah, he's going to be in Civil War. He's going to be part of the Infinity Gauntlet, I'm sure.
In the comic book, he was one of the only people to ever wear the Infinity Gauntlet, if I remember correctly.
Oh, shit. I mean, I don't know.
Like, you had, like, the...
Last time, Captain America was the last guy I saw wear it, and it blew up on him.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong then.
But that was fairly recent.
I mean, there are several supernatural gauntlets in the Marvel universe, so...
But the Infinity Gauntlet is what the Marvel movie universe is. I mean, especially Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers.
I didn't see it.
You haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
I did not.
Yeah.
Even Chris, who never watches movies, has seen it. You know what? Go to the corner. Wear the dunce hat. All right. We'll watch it later. Don't worry.
We
fellow nerds and I will retire to the nerdery with our calculators. We should have something for you.
Thank you, Chris.
That's perfect.
Asshole. Always.
Hey.
We earned that.
That's a great note to wrap it up on.
Yes.
Yes,
it
perfect.
is.
All right, guys.
But yeah, number 97. Over and out.
Hey.
What do we do? Am I running CB? Breaker.
I just want to say thanks to Max for sitting in with us. I appreciate my little brother giving me the ride and sitting in with us. So
Dreams can't
It's
come
been
true.
fun.
Little peanut gallery over there.
Yeah.
This is what I do, so...
All right. Well, thanks for listening. And we'll catch you on Monday.
Yep. See you next week.
Later, guys.
If you enjoy this show and want more people to know about it, head on over to iTunes, leave a comment, and rate it 5 stars. Make sure you like and share us on Facebook, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Just search for Christopher Media. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Most importantly, we would like to take the time to extend an extra special thanks to you. Christopher Media could not exist without your support. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Christopher Media. Let's make some noise.
You might not think that a few simple words could make you crave McDonald's breakfast sandwiches. But if you listen closely to the sound of me saying,